Today's IGN podcast is brought to you by Fox Digital Copy. It's so easy to view movies on your iPod. Find out how to insert, transfer, go at foxdigitalcopy.com.
Beyond.
Back up in your ass with Beyond!
Back it up, back it up! What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Beyond, episode 63.
City 3!
I am the host, Chris Roper,
With the
editor-in-chief, IGN PlayStation team. Greg Miller is up in this piece.
Yo, I got a good feeling this is going to be the best Podcast Beyond ever.
Beyond!
Jeff is up in this piece.
Feeling it well.
I forgot your last name for a second. It's been a long week. I was like, Jeff, I was going to say Jeff Miller. I was like, that's not right.
Nope. That'll be Jeff Haynes.
Jeff Haynes is here. Ryan Clements is not here.
In Tokyo.
He is
I'm
in
sorry.
Tokyo.
Did he talk to you this morning?
sorry.
Did he talk to you this morning?
No, I talked to him yesterday, though.
He's a bit sick, he says.
Oh.
He was getting ready to pass out, he said.
He lost with Is
on
It
his-
Fish?
He lost. That's
Yep.
I was going to say. He had to
Probably,
lost.
that's what did it.
Oh, man. What do you know what he ate?
No, I haven't talked to him outside of getting
neither.
an I am saying Beyond, that is all.
Here's the question, though. How many times has he lost Is It Fish?
That's a good
Because
question.
it's a multiple loss
He's a picky
game.
eater, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in trouble.
See, I got very lucky. But, yeah, so he got screwed.
Definitely.
Let's get right into the show with the Rope Report.
Time for some news.
So, as mentioned, TGS is going on right now.
Lots of news.
Tons of news.
Sort of. So,
Don't sort of me, buddy.
We'll come back to that in a second. We'll do a
Face-off.
topic of the week right after this,
Whoa.
and then we'll come back into the regular things. We're going to mix the
Blowing
show up a
your
little bit today.
mind.
So, for the news that we know, it's been announced that a bunch of publishers are working on content for home. A whole list of things are on the site, but publishers include Activision, Atlas, Capcom, Koei, Konami, Sega, Namco, Bandai, Ubisoft. All your favorites are on there. Electronic Arts is not on the list.
Really?
But this is a Japanese show. Maybe that has, I don't know.
But does all your base belong to them?
I don't know.
Was TSQ on the list?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
I wrote down the ones that stuck out to me as
Yeah.
some of the bigger ones, but I don't remember seeing THQ. I would have wrote them down, unless I just happened to pass over it. It's a
Understand
fairly
how that
long
goes.
list. It's a list of like 25,
That's why
30 companies.
they should read IGN for all the real news.
That's what I'm saying. So there's all that kind of stuff.
Nice plug.
It apparently, from what we're understanding, and again, this is coming out of Tokyo, so there's a couple things to consider about all of the news here. Number one is that
It's from the future.
Yes, it's all from the future. It's all in 4D, but some of the news may be translated slightly weird. So some of the details, I'm gonna, we'll kind of dance around some of the details because who knows exactly what's going on, and also some of it could be Japan specific, but this stuff should be relevant to everybody. But anyway, the other detail we got out of this, it sounds like that Capcom is doing, for Street Fighter 4, some sort of characters in-home. I don't know if that means that you can actually be Ken in-home, which would be weird. But and then everybody else is sort of like they will create whatever it's going to be. There are not too many details on what will be in there. But
My guess is that it'd probably be like some of the theme rooms where they're just
home
characters that are
spaces.
in there in the home space.
yeah, you would assume that. Let's see. Little Big Planet news.
LVP!
In that Final Fantasy VII and Metal Gear Solid 4 content is coming to the game.
It's pretty awesome.
It's from what it sounds like, and again, this is translated details. Is that the game comes out in Japan on October 30th, and so it seems like that. I don't know if it's going to coincide with there, but anyway, there's going to be content that will bring both Sephiroth and Old Snake to the game.
Old Snake.
You will basically have all their parts, and you can put them on. So you can put an eye patch on and bandana, all that kind of stuff. Mustache, of course, to make Old Snake. Same things for Sephiroth. Now, it sounds like it's going to be paid content, so you have to buy this.
I'd buy Snake.
Yeah, I'd buy
I'd
Snake
buy
also.
this.
But it won't be only character stuff, so there'll be other stuff in the pack, but we don't know what it is. Maybe items you can use, probably objects you can put in your levels. I don't know if it's
I
going
hope
to be
there's a Metal Gear Rex object I can walk around my level.
That would be completely rad. I'm hoping that the content will include levels based around these things.
Yeah.
If you had some sort of like sneaking mission,
That would be
Snake,
sweet.
that'd be rad. A new Castlevania game got announced for the PS3 and 360 if you care. No crazy details we've seen from that, but apparently the game's happening. Apparently,
Did Ego walk out with a whip?
I don't know that, but apparently it was a little surprising that the game got announced. So it seems like it's probably very far off with that if that's true. So you might have to wait a while on that. It doesn't seem like there's an official name or whatever came out of there. New package bundles for the 80 gig system got announced for Japan. Probably won't ever see it here in the U.S. But for a limited time, they're including Gran Turismo 5 Prologue with the system. So that's cool. You get racing for free if you want that. Or, alternatively, there's going to be a system that will include two DualShock 3s and a Little Big Planet.
That's a good pack.
Nice.
It's a good pack. And special, Sackboy art on the outside of the box. Sounds like the system will just be, plain old thing. Speaking of Gran Turismo 5 Prologue, it was updated last Friday, I believe. Thursday evening, Friday, something like that. You get 3 new cars, including the Ferrari California. And then they tweaked some other stuff. So you get more money for winning and some other things. So you can go get that stuff. That's available now. And finally, it has been announced what everybody's expecting forever now. And everybody is like, why is it finally happening now instead of 2 years ago? The PSP is finally getting access to the PlayStation Store.
Booyah.
Woohoo!
October 15th in Japan is when it's happening there. You will assume that's going to be worldwide at least around the same time. So it's, 8 days from now, I guess?
Yeah.
My watch date is off, but seems about right. So there we go.
Day and date games. Patapon 2, the day it comes out, you can download it or buy it in the store.
Awesome.
There you go. So lots of cool stuff.
There's Resistance stuff too for that PSP Resistance 2 connectivity.
Oh, yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
PSP's alive and well.
Why don't you explain that? You read through
Segue?
So if you have Resistance 2 and then you go out and buy Resistance Retribution, which is coming out in
February 2009.
Resistance 2 is coming out
in a few weeks.
There
Greg.
you go. So anyways, you buy
November.
Retribution and you put a mini USB up to your PSP there, and then into the PS3. In the Resistance 2 menu, you will be able to click on Infect My PSP, which will give you a different little gameplay mode, different little mission where your guy gets infected with a new form of the virus, which gives him yellow chimera eyes, and he can swim underwater and have a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Plus, he gets one of the weapons from Resistance 2.
The Magnum.
This stuff works into
the PSP game.
Into the PSP game.
Yeah.
Right.
Magnum. And then as well, there will be, I forget what they're calling it. I keep screwing it up. It's Connect My PSP or Connect PSP Plus, I think. Is that right?
PSP Plus, Greg.
There you go. So again,
I feel like Ed McMahon right now.
Your USB
That
into
is
the
correct.
PS3 system. You go in the Resistance 2 thing. You select PSP My PSP.
PSP Plus.
PSP Plus.
PSP Plus. That's a hard one to remember for some reason. Select that in the Resistance 2 menu. It will then start playing Retribution on your big screen. You
That's
can play
correct.
Retribution with your DualShock 3. It'll have rumble. It'll have everything you expect. The aim box that's on the PS3 one will be down, so it'll be a little bit, both sticks now. It'll be easier to control and play around that way. So, that's what you got there.
That
Very
is
cool.
the business, Greg.
The business indeed.
So there we go. That sounds like it's all the news out of Japan. Now, the pre-topic of the week that I want to talk about here.
Pre-topic of the week?
So we have our main topic of the week this week. So we're going to talk about
Topic of the
Bioshock.
week?
We'll get on that in a
Main
little bit.
topic of the week!
But the pre-topic of the week
Pre-topic of the week!
is that Sony had announced a little while ago that at TGS, which is happening right now, day 1 of the show has already been over.
Yeah.
Day 2 is going to start in, as of this recording, 8.5 hours, something like that. I don't.
Or so.
Give or take.
Really?
Give or take.
Oh, yeah. Man, yeah.
Yeah. So day 1 is already over. Sony had announced that it was going to announce 12 new games. 3 for the PSP, which we know at least 2 would be, but those games are already announced, though.
Man.
That's the thing. So there's Loco Roco and Patapon.
Yeah.
Both 2s.
We already knew those.
But we already knew this. I don't know if this will count. But regardless, everybody's interested, since we already sort of knew about those, what are the 9 PS3 games that Sony said it was going to be announced? We haven't seen anything.
And it can't be White Knight Chronicles because we've known about that for years.
There are 9 games that are supposedly supposed to be announced that are
And they're
floating.
coming right from Sony? Is that the deal
That's
here?
what was understood.
Yeah, Sony
Because
exclusives.
there's that zombie game we saw today, whatever.
Yeah, but that's maybe one if you count that.
But it's not Sony,
Yeah,
But it still looks cool, huh?
Yeah. So where are these games? What's happening? Is it a day 2 announcement? We don't know. The conference already happened. What is going on? Where are the games? I don't understand what's happening. It seems like a large thing was missed. Could have been happening. Microsoft went ahead and announced Halo 3 Recon.
Yeah.
You're like, cool, another Halo game. So people are excited for the Microsoft end. Where's all the Sony stuff? Sony should have said, here's the next Team Eco game.
They should
That's what I
have.
want
They
to see.
should have, but
Didn't.
Hey, check it out. Here's the damage pack for Gran Turismo. Did not showing that off.
No.
yeah.
Uncharted 2?
Could have done
I
that.
almost put my pants today. I went in and we had the back end. I looked at it and there was
Yeah.
Uncharted on water or something. It was some
Yeah.
other
Yeah,
game.
the Koei
For a
game.
second there, I thought it was like some kind of multiplayer Uncharted thing.
Yeah, so did I. But that's not to be. So where's everything, Sony? Come on, give us some content to talk about over here.
Do you think it's possible that Clements is just slacking off and didn't write any of these new stories?
No. So
No.
just to make sure, I went and checked everywhere else on the interwebs. Nobody has anything.
Maybe they're all part of some pact.
I don't know. We'll
Sony
see.
ninjas are basically waiting for them to make the wrong step.
Yep.
Type something up and get killed.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah. So there you go. So that's the deal with that one. Greg, what games hit stores this week?
Well, luckily I have the official IGN list of upcoming PlayStation software on all 3 platforms by the IGN editors.
That's too much.
Pew, pow. PS3 is getting NBA 2K9, NBA Live 2009, NBA 09 The Inside, Fracture, Silent Hill Homecoming.
09.
Yeah, PlayStation 2 gets NBA 09 The Inside, NBA Live 2009, NBA 2K9,
09.
Crash Mind Over Mutants.
09.
PSP gets NBA 09 The Inside, NBA Live 2009, and My Spanish Coach.
09.
Too good for the PlayStation Portable 2K9. I condemn you.
09.
Pick of the week.
Pick of the week.
I guess pick of the week's got to be basketball, or if you want to learn a different language, My Spanish Coach.
Yeah, we don't know how good any of these games are, do we? Well, we know that Fracture's not good, and Silent Hill's not that great.
And Jeff doesn't like Live or Inside.
Yeah, I think it might be 2K.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think it might be 2K.
There's pick of the week.
Is there anything coming on the store?
NBA 2K9.
Do we have any Blognac information?
I think it's all demos this week.
Blognac actually gave me a really quick sake update. He likes the sake.
Yeah.
He likes the kaiten
sake
sushi.
coming to the PlayStation store?
I wish.
Because that would be awesome. If it come out.
Fantastic.
You know those 2 hidden gigabit Ethernet ports that's supposed to be on the PS3? They actually got transformed into a sake dispenser.
That would be excellent.
So you create your Japanese login and you go on the thing, and then sake comes out of the back of your PS3. Just make sure it's not right up against your TV.
Or blazing hot water for green tea.
There you go.
That would be great.
That's where they are. One's hot water. And then green tea comes out of the memory card slots if you bought one of those.
No, but supposedly, I'm going to mess this one up, but it's like supersonic, acrobatic, battle-powered racing card.
Yeah.
Whatever that thing is. That one's coming out today.
Sweet.
Echochrome is getting, I believe, some new levels for the PSP. And I believe today is the debut of Core, issue 5, and
so they're a week late on that one.
Yeah, and they're also coming out with premium themes.
Oh yeah, I did
for
see
the
that.
PS3.
Yeah,
they're trying to do. Is it 10 a month? Is that what it was? Or 6 to 10 a month? I heard.
It's some random number. Like they don't have a specific number, I guess, like locked down. And there wasn't even really like a specific number that they had.
They did talk there's going to be college ones though. They showed in a screen grab I saw. It looked like North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Tar Heels. So if they have a Mizzou one in there, it'll be the greatest update of all time. But they won't.
But yeah, supposedly there's going to be some unknown number of premium themes that will be downloadable today.
Excellent.
And I hope those things are extremely well done, because otherwise people can just make them themselves.
Yeah, I saw
so
one
many
that was just
themes out already.
One dude's head or whatever on the block. I was like,
Yeah, there's so many themes available that custom stuff better be really good.
And there's
I haven't understood either. It said it's premium. Are we even to pay for these? Like, I never saw information on that.
I think you have to pay for them, but there's no idea. Like Blognac didn't say exactly what the pricing scheme is. But it's kind of odd because there are tons of people that we've seen that have made really, really good themes right now, and they already have themes and everything else. So it's
whatever.
So there you go. Pick of the week remains with NBA 2K9.
Yep.
Store update's not good enough. Do we have any trophy tips this week? Anybody?
You've been doing Little Big Planet stuff.
I've been doing Little Big Planet.
Don't you?
Should I say my plan?
You should. I mean, because it's not like you're. With all due respect, I'm sure other people are going to do it too. But you already have the game, so you could have it ready, couldn't you?
So here's the thing. As long
as they carry over the beta. Oh wait, but you actually have the game.
Yes. No. So here's the thing: is apparently on the PlayStation site itself, PlayStation.com, on there they're taking a poll about whether they should keep the beta content up on the server or wipe the whole thing, start over again. So there's that poll going on.
Why
they
get rid of
definitely keep it.
Yeah. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is, I don't know how much the trophy details are out there. I think people already know about the trophies, but there are trophies in the game for getting. Anybody could do this, but I'm going to do it myself anyway, and then you can go on there and find it. Anyway, there's trophies in the game for getting multipliers and a certain number of total points for your dude, and doing a couple other things. So I'm going to create a level and then post it up there, and by my count, it should be worth 6 or 7 trophies in about 30 seconds. So my goal is you'll walk in my level, hit a couple buttons, wait for a couple things to happen, ride a couple things, whatever, and you'll have all these trophies immediately.
Nice.
So that's my plan. So there's trophy tip is next week I will hopefully I'll come up with a name for the level next week, and then basically I'm going to wait until the server does whatever it's going to do, if they're going to reset it or whatever, and put it up like the day before the game comes out, so that hopefully it should be live. But I'll come up with a name. I'll tell you everybody what it's going to be,
and make sure you heart it.
Yeah, and then heart the trophy, so I get the community award.
There you go.
And then go on there, but you'll get all the trophies like immediately. So there we go.
Cowabunga.
Oh yeah, yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Topic of the week. So, BioShock comes out on PS3 very soon.
Yes.
In
2 weeks.
My calendar. Yeah, 2 weeks. So, today we are going to talk to Melissa Miller, senior producer over at 2K, and Jake Egton, senior programmer over there. We're going to talk to him about BioShock. Let's get him on the phone. All right, well, thank you guys very much for being here today to answer some of our questions. Very much appreciated. Why don't you tell... The game is coming out in, 2 weeks now, I guess? So that's pretty big for PlayStation 3 gamers. Why don't you... can you start off by telling us, I guess, what's new in the PlayStation 3 version of the game?
Yeah, we added a lot of new things to the PlayStation 3 version. The main one is the Survivor mode and the DLC.
It's actually called add-on content.
Add-on content, sorry. And we also went through and fixed up a lot of bugs from the first game that originally went out with as the patch for 360 and PC, which gives you things like the FOV option. It gives you the option to turn off Vita chambers. It gives you some minor bug fixes, like when the corpses don't twitch anymore and things like that. You're getting sort of the definitive version. You're getting the one that has all the extra bonus content that was released on other platforms, as well as the new things that we're adding in, like I said, like Survivor mode.
Yeah, Survivor mode is something that we're really, really excited about to add. And I think that we had even maybe talked about having something like that for the original game, but we just never could.
Yeah, I mean, on the first game, we had a lot of criticism that, the game was too easy. And so we know that there's the masochists out there, and we know that what kind of games they like. So we tried to deliver that more for the PS3. And the Survivor mode is basically one of the hardest things you can possibly do. It's similar to, say, Legendary on Halo. And it definitely lives up to its name. It's something that you have to be a real survivor to make it through.
Yeah, and the tagline is every bullet counts, and it could not be more true. I mean, I'll be the first to admit I can't make it through like a level. So it's something that we think is a really, really great addition to the PS3 version, because it's really going to challenge the people out there who think that they know how to play BioShock and think that they're truly hardcore. I mean, we're not kidding around. You need to exploit every possible trick that you can think of in order to get through this mode. You need to use the environment as much as you possibly can. Think of all the different ways that you can combine the environment or just things within the level, like explosive barrels, like lining that with proximity mines to maximize one hit damage to a big daddy, things like that. You really, really have to get creative to make it through this mode.
Cool. Now, one of the things that I've noticed since I've been playing through it has been that it seems like a large amount of it isn't necessarily even dictated by the increased numbers of splicers, but more just how hardy they are and kind of how at times even their tactics seem to change because of Survivor mode. Like, it seems like they're a little bit smarter as far as avoiding bullets or taking advantage of what they happen to be, whether they're a nitro splicer or like a lead head splicer. Can you tell us a little bit about how you guys kind of adjusted the AI routines for this mode?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what you're seeing in playing in Survivor is actually the way the game was more originally envisioned before it got a little bit too easy, and a lot of the behaviors of the plasmids and of the enemies and things like that were originally structured for more of the long-term battles that you're seeing there, and you have to really, like Melissa said, use all of the tools that were given in the first game in a way that you didn't have to on, say, easy, where you could just go in and you could hit those guys with a wrench and you would never see those more complicated behaviors. And we tried to make it so that you were forced to use the sort of extended techniques and things like that. And really what you're seeing is the original game, but in a different light, is the only way I can really express it.
Yeah, and also it wasn't like we just went in and said, oh, the enemies have more hit points. That's Survivor. I mean, we really went in and touched everything and fiddled with it to, make this experience. We spent a lot of time getting a lot of feedback from our QA group and making adjustments and everything to get to the final mode. I mean, that's one of the things I love about BioShock in general is I'm not the most awesome first-person shooter player, but BioShock allowed me to do some really cool things because because I could depend on the plasmids and do a lot of indirect methods. But the beauty is that, on the other modes, you didn't necessarily have to do that. You could play through as a, run and gun shooter, and that was a completely valid strategy. And that's really the interesting part about Survivor is that, that strategy is not going to work for you in this case.
Right. Speaking of some of the plasmids, what I've noticed is that a lot of the times you have to kind of cocktail your way through certain situations, like using an electrobolt and then hitting somebody with a wrench. Obviously, is one of the key uses of the powers themselves. But other things like using the target dummy or the security bullseye seems to be a lot more of a prevalent tactic now than ever before. What kind of features have you guys been finding are kind of being taken into a completely different light with these plasmids now because of Survivor mode?
Yeah, I mean, the combinatory powers are by far the most powerful thing in the game. And, we've had some QA testers find some very interesting ways of pulling together 3 or 4 different plasmids to get this string of behavior that will just take down anything. Like, one of the guys found that if you drop a decoy down and then drop a bunch of proximity mines on a exploding barrel and then hit the splicer with Enrage, he'll come running at the decoy, hit him, accidentally hit the barrel, and, blow up everything around him. There's a lot of those sort of environmental things, and we call it ecology, that is far more effective in Survivor because your guns and your sort of direct powers aren't nearly as strong as they are in the main game, but things like Big Daddy attacking his splicer is just as strong as it ever was. So he's, befriending Big Daddy and using Enrage to, take one guy and have him fight all the other ones to distract him is far more applicable in Survivor mode than it is in the main game.
And also, like, certain tonics like chameleon, or is it camouflage?
Organic camouflage.
Okay. Organic camouflage. One of the things that I always depended on was taking research photos. Well, in Survivor, obviously it's gonna cost you a lot more to be taking those types of photos. Using a combination of organic camouflage as well as target dummy, so that you're getting maximum photo points for taking in-action shots of the splicers as they attack the target dummy. Things like that are just really, really valuable.
One of the other things that I was wondering is, I know that the 360 version got downloadable plasmids a little bit later on. Did you guys include that within Survivor mode or within the PS3 version of the game itself?
Yeah, that was Air Blast, and I believe some tonics as well. Sonic Boom, and some tonics as well. And those, like I said, anything that was ever released for any of the other versions is included on the disc for PS3.
And that actually leads me into a question from one of our readers. The Great 118 asked, is the PS3 version of BioShock getting any DLC in the future, and will the extra features of the PS3 version ever appear as DLC for the 360 version?
Well, the answer to that is yes. BioShock PS3 is getting its own exclusive add-on content that will be released after the full game launches on October 21st. We haven't talked about the exact release date, but it'll be sometime before the end of the year. And the add-on content for the PS3 version is something that we're really excited about. We ended up wanting to kind of do something really substantial with it, and we came to the idea of doing these challenge rooms, essentially, and focusing on the BioShock toolset, which we were just talking about for Survivor, and encouraging players or offering them gameplay opportunities to really delve deeper into those toolsets and use them in ways that they maybe hadn't considered. And we were able to show our first one at E3 this year called The Shocking Turn of Events, and it really demonstrated just how different the add-on gameplay is. It's really more about puzzle solving in that particular challenge room than it is about the traditional combat that BioShock is known for. And so you're presented with a simple challenge, essentially, and there's a little sister who's trapped at the top of a Ferris wheel, and she can't get down. You can't use the controls because they have an electrical malfunction. So you have to shock it in order to make it work, but you don't have the most obvious electrical tool in BioShock, which is the electrobolt plasmid. So you have to think of all the other ways to generate electricity to the control box in order to solve this. and that's just one of the challenge rooms. We haven't talked about the other ones, but they offer a really wide variety of gameplay. The specific example of a shocking turn of events is more puzzle-oriented, but we also offer more of the traditional combat that people expect from BioShock. So we're really excited about that. As far as that add-on content coming to the 360 version, it is PlayStation 3 exclusive.
Booyah!
And something else that I want to add is that something that was cool about the add-on content is we made them outside the BioShock narrative. Something that was really important to us was that we were retaining the themes of Rapture, but we weren't trying to retrofit some new level or new story into the original game with this add-on content. We absolutely did not want to mess with the original gameplay experience and its narrative. So these are really discrete levels, and they're accessed immediately from the main menu upon download. So players can jump right in. And, there's really nothing connecting them to, the overall BioShock narrative. They're really just like pulp adventures in Rapture.
For those players that are wondering if these will be pack-on add-ins, or will they just be kind of like a challenge room a week or a month or whatever, is there any particular structure that you guys are thinking about, or is it still one of those things that's kind of in development?
Well, it's actually something that I just can't discuss at this point, just because it has to do with our actual release date and those things that we haven't announced yet.
Okay. Black Mantle actually had a number of questions for you guys. The first one is the PlayStation 3 version being visually optimized by any means?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we were very careful not to treat this as something where we were going to go in and mess with the original game. We're not going to go in and, change the Big Daddies to make them purple or anything like that. We're not going to change the look. We tried very hard to match the 360 experience, and we absolutely think that we delivered on that. And we did actually use the Blu-ray for a few things, including, like, the movies are much higher res because they wouldn't exactly fit on the DVD that we originally shipped with. And some small tweaks, like I said, some of the options that were included on the 360 patch and the PC patch are included directly into the PlayStation 3 version. Like the widescreen option is in there that allows you to view it in what we call horizontal plus, which is a little different than what we shipped on the 360, and which is great for if you have a widescreen TV.
Yeah, but our overall goal in coming to the PlayStation 3 was to make sure that we met the same standard that we had established in the original, and that PlayStation 3 owners, because obviously we understand that there are very passionate fans out there for both consoles, that we were doing justice to both versions, and that they were as identical as we could make them.
Okay. He also asks, BioShock seems like a rather unsettling game. Is 2K Games maybe planning to officially expand their range into the survival horror genre in the near future?
Well, that's interesting because to us, BioShock is a shooter rather than survival horror. I think that's great that they see those elements in BioShock. But in terms of 2K actually mandating or trying to go forward into some kind of survival horror genre, we're just trying to make the best games that we can.
Makes total sense. Finally, he says, recently I've heard someone mentioning that paying $60 for BioShock will be a waste of money, especially after 1 year has passed since the original version has been released. What's your take on that?
Well, that's kind of hard to answer. I mean, we obviously don't want to tell people how they need to spend their money. We think that BioShock is an amazing game. We're incredibly proud of the efforts that went into the first game and how well people received it, both critically and on the consumer side. And so, and coming to the PS3, we wanted to stand by that original experience. and bring it to a whole new group of fans. And we're really excited about the fact that there are people in the PlayStation 3 audience who have never experienced Rapture and will be coming to the game for the first time. In terms of people who maybe have already played Rapture or played BioShock, we wanted to try and give them a good reason to want to come back. And so, looking at the new content that we added, things like Survivor, things like the PlayStation exclusive add-on content, we hope that those are things that fans will find substantial enough that they'll want to make the return trip.
And for people that only have PlayStation 3, we absolutely think that the game stands up against anything released so far. And certainly in the shooter space, it's a very, very amazing shooter, and there's not that many of those on PlayStation 3.
Thank you guys very much for being on the show. Very much appreciated. BioShock, we're all big fans. So
yeah, PC Game of the Year last year.
Sweet. Yeah. So there we go. So, go get that, especially if you haven't played the game. But if you have played it, Survivor Mode could be worth a look. We will find out very soon about what Jeff played through the game.
Yes.
We'll find out what he thought very soon.
It's coming.
But overall, Jeff, you can say that it's good. It's a good game.
Yeah, it's a very good game.
There you go. So if you want specifics on that, you can find out soon. But it's quality entertainment. There you go. Let's get on to a little reader mail.
Reader mail?
Mail call.
Mailbag? Mailman?
Mail pattern baldness.
Jeff Ramsaroop writes in, says, will the Little Big Planet beta levels be available when the game releases? I just mentioned that.
It's Time Warp.
Yeah.
Deja vu.
So, again, if you go to the PlayStation.com forums or site or whatever, I haven't actually been to the thing itself. I'm letting the community decide what's going to happen.
Oh.
I haven't uploaded any beta levels, so I can put them up in the game, so I don't care. But anyway, you can go in there and vote, and they're going to take the community's vote for Word. So if people vote they want to keep them, they're going to keep them. If they want to delete them,
yes.
they're going to delete them.
What if we vote we want the release date pushed up to now?
That would be amazing.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, so there you go. There's the answer to that one. Wag My Cigar writes in and says, why didn't Roper replace the blue screw? What did he do with it?
Oh, my God. I'm sick of these emails and comments.
So here's what happened. So last week, along with the podcast, we put up we embedded the video. So, a month ago, whatever, we said we would do a video where we show you how to replace the hard drive in the PS3. We embedded that into last week's story on the site. So the video went up there. I showed you how to take the hard drive out or whatever. Which, by the way, we got an email from somebody saying that because I said in the thing, keep your hard drive so that in case something goes wrong with the new one, you can put it back in there. And somebody wrote in to say, hey, if your system dies and you keep your hard drive, you put it in the new one, it's going to ask to format it. I guess the serial numbers, whatever, don't match up, so that won't work for you. But if you put it back in your same system,
same system,
that'll work fine. Anyway, so I did the for anybody that hasn't seen it, basically you take this cover off. There's a blue screw that you unscrew. Then the carriage for the hard drive comes out, and you take that off. Then you put the carriage back in. Then you put the blue screw back in to hold the carriage in place. Then you pop the cover back on. I forgot to put the blue screw back on the thing. It's tiny. There's a bunch of crap on the desk we were doing, so I didn't notice it, and I didn't realize it until way after the thing was over.
Thankfully, 1,400 people have emailed or commented to let us know that the screw is missing.
Nick Scarpino from the video team actually was the first person to realize it because he went back in there. I put the blue screw back in my system. It is in place. I have the blue screw.
Everything's fixed.
It is back in my PS3. It's home where it's supposed to be. So that's what I did with it. I screwed it back in.
Radical.
There you go.
Sweet.
Big update. But anyway, put that in back there. I'm actually surprised how many people realize they didn't put the screw in. So I guess that means they're paying attention.
Yeah,
definitely.
So good. What do you got there? Is that secret code?
I forgot
what is this?
Do we have a hit of the week?
Not yet.
That's going up later.
Not yet, but we'll come back to that after the mail. But you got
one? I got one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
On a very crinkled up piece of paper.
I ball up the list usually when I'm done, but I forgot that I put something on here important.
Cool. We'll come back to that in a second. Jobo42 says, what type of genre do you think the next Team Eco game will delve into?
I think it's going to be Road Rash.
Yeah. I think they're making Road Rash now.
That would make a lot of sense.
It's going to be some sort of adventure game.
Yeah.
You have to assume. I don't think they're going to make a shooter. But, if they did, it would be awesome. But anyway, yeah, some sort of adventure. Who knows?
Probably set in the past.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
Yep.
I'm hoping that Shadow of the Colossus had a little clue to tie it into the Eco universe. I'm hoping they kind of do the same thing. Where the whole, the game's very largely separate, world kind of, same art style sort of thing, and then there's one little tiny clue in there that shows you how it ties into the rest of the universe. I think that'd be pretty awesome. But we'll see how that goes. Maybe they're creating a direct prequel or something, which would be cool. But anyway,
maybe it's play as a Colossus or something.
There you go. You get to go stomping.
Nice.
Pseudoprime 1979 says, what is one game that you really want to play before Christmas, or holiday season, as we say in the corporate world,
okay,
that you don't think you will have time to because of your review schedule?
Ooh, that's a good
For
question.
me,
Nice.
I already have my Thanksgiving holiday that whole break, and then after that, because it's basically dead in review season, so all of that plus my, all the holidays, I've already put that to Fallout. Like, that's what I'm doing. Fallout is my time then. So I'm safe on Fallout.
I'm not worried about not playing a game. I'm not worried, and I mean playing a little bit. I'm worried about not completing them all or having enough time to put into, like, you figure I'm super excited for Dead Space, Little Big Planet, Fallout. I mean, those are big games that there's going to be a lot to do in, and I have a feeling I'm not going to get. I have a feeling I'm going to get into a bunch of them and then have to switch to another one and do everything
Dead Space is one that I'm worried about. I need to make time for that. I'm not worried about the Sony games. I'm going to get to all those. Like, I'm make sure I get the Resistance, and I'm one stage away from beating Little Big Planet, I think, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not worried about those games, but it's the third-party stuff that I'm interested in playing.
Yeah.
Like I want to play Fable 2.
Oh yeah,
that
Fable
one.
2.
I don't know if I'm going to have time to play that anytime soon. So
it's gonna be there's gonna be a lot of spring run over.
There will. I mean, like I'm worried about Fallout 3, and I'm worried about CNC Red Alert. Because
I'm not a big RTS guy. So.
Well, yeah, I'm a big CNC fan, but I mean, like the biggest thing is that I know that I've got 2 RPGs at the tail end, even post Thanksgiving, which is going to back all of that up too. So it's just like I really can't even see getting near it until maybe Christmas.
Yeah. So eat your bran.
Yes.
Pencils writes in. He says, "Do you guys think we may get YouTube support in game for Little Big Planet, like in Pixel Junk Eden or Spore? Maybe some news at TGS." He thought that the devs had said there was one surprise feature they had yet to announce. Doesn't remember hearing anything about that one. No, there is no YouTube support in there unless it's a patch. Unless it's some kind of crazy secret button combination that I don't know about. But that's not in the game.
Have you seen the secret thing that he mentioned?
No, and I don't know what that could actually be. Yeah, I don't know what that would be, to be honest. So, yeah, I mean, everybody pretty much knows about the entire game at this point. So, unless there's something that you unlock at the end, again, I'm like 1 or 2, stages, so I'm like half an hour from beating the game. Maybe I'll unlock something, but...
Has anybody checked out how much Pixel Junk Eden's being YouTubed? Like, are there clips?
Actually, I haven't.
No.
Okay.
I haven't looked. Yeah.
It seems like a cool feature, but I'd rather have it be in-game like Skate. Like, I like to pop on my PS3 once in a while and go check out what the videos are in Skate or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd rather see like that, I think, than just getting randomly. But, I mean, I guess there's no downside to it being uploaded that way.
Well, so the YouTube thing is cool because you can get it anywhere. And you can send it to somebody that hasn't played the game or whatever. If somebody doesn't own a PS3, but you're like, hey, check out what I did there. You can do that. The downside is that it looks like crap.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So, anyway. So there's good things to both. And then plus, in something like Skate, since you can edit the clip, you have total control over what you're showing, which is pretty awesome. Percussion Master says he really enjoys the features of Xbox.com, such as viewing my achievements, friends list, or whatever. Will I ever have this same type of web-based functionality for my PSN account? Do you know if Sony is working on this? And if so, have you heard any recent updates about it? Yada, yada, yada. Greg, you and I, when we went to see the, what was it, 2.1? 2.4? Yeah.
When they did the trophies.
When they first did the trophies. We went and saw this thing like a week or two before it went live. And at that point, they showed us, friends list works in their in-game cross-media bar, all that kind of stuff. And the thing was that was phase 1 of the whole rollout. And that there was going to be a bunch of other features going in there. One thing specifically I asked about was, hey, can you view this stuff online? That is in the works, or they're looking into it. They want to do that kind of thing. That's high on their list. One thing that I asked about was, will you be able to see next to somebody's name when you're scrolling down your friends list, like their trophy count or their level or something, so you don't have to click on somebody. That sort of thing is, in talks to be in there. So the current state of it is not by any means done. They're still looking at things that can add on to it. They want to expand the functionality, and you have to assume that, anything that Xbox.com does is closely being looked at because, that's the competition that they're going to target against. So, and then hopefully there'll be some extra cool things.
Hopefully they actually move things outside of the top right corner of the screen for everything.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you have, like, a message, controller update, the time, and all these other things always popping up there, it's like, seriously.
Well, you know what I want to see? This is very simple. Is in the top left-hand corner, whatever you want to move away from there, is if you have a new message, have a little stupid mail icon in the top left corner on the cross-media bar.
Not a giant box or whatever.
No. The giant box appears when it says you have new mail, and then it goes away a couple seconds later.
Yeah.
And that's all you get. But so if
you want to? I see what you're saying.
I want to have it on there permanently, so it's like, oh, you have new mail, go check it.
I would like
just a little tiny thing in the corner.
I would like to be able to go in and pick and choose what goes up and what goes down. Because right now, you can turn off notifications, which I did a long time ago. But the problem was that I was turning it off so I didn't see Ziggy Poop Dust is signing off and on, and here's Roper, and he's doing, I like that. But the problem was that I was missing invites and emails and all this stuff because it wasn't popping up, and I wouldn't think to go check it every 5 minutes.
Yep. So there's that. Dopalicious writes in with a two-parter. First, he says, last week on Just the Tip, I said that there was a thing for... to unlock all the skins, you put on assist for Wipeout, and then tape down your controller button or whatever, run through the things. Dopalicious was the guy that sent in that tip, so thanks to him.
Some credit.
He gets the tip.
Just the tip.
And then his email says, to El Jefe / the Jeff / Zerathos, he says, is Dead Space fun? I'm getting hyped for the game. Strategic dismemberment sounds a blast. I just need affirmation. It's worthy of a purchase as this fall is way overloaded with games to play. Jeff, our review's not up yet.
Yes,
so you can't give him the definitive answer, but is the game fun or no?
The game is hella fun, hella sick. Yeah, I'm breaking out the Bay Area stuff.
I want to formally ban the use of hella on the show forever now.
Fine.
What
about sick?
Sick is awesome. I like using sick.
The game is...
Katie yelled at me
and
for
also
using
use
that
gnarly and radical. I want to use radical more often.
The game
not
is
just radical.
the game is very fun, very sick. You're gonna have a blast with it, and yeah, you should definitely check it out.
Yeah, and our review will be very, very soon.
Yes,
Maybe even by the time you hear this.
possibly.
If you're not one of the first 100,000 people to listen. Anyway, John writes in. John / Squawker. Missed a Y in there. Instead of Skywalker. Says, hey guys, I have a question about the camera in Skate 2. I love Skate, but I felt the camera was too close and it killed my peripheral vision, especially when traveling slow. Do you know if there are more options for in-game camera in Skate 2, or has the fixed camera been tweaked at all? So, I've played a little bit of Skate 2. Awesome so far. I love the series. The camera, I don't know how many options you have for changing how it is in there, but the camera has definitely been tweaked. One thing in particular is now if you come to a ledge or you're over top of stairs, it recognizes that, and the camera pans up some to look down so that you can actually see the over top of stuff, see where you're getting ready to jump down to. So that's one way that it's been tweaked. I know that the game's still a little ways out, so they're still working on all that kind of stuff. But camera's definitely one thing they're working on. So stay tuned for more information on that. But what I've seen so far, is improved. I don't know if it's perfect. I don't know if it's going to give you your, whole, far away guy on the screen in GTA type look at the world, but so far it is much better. That is the end of Read 'em Math for the week. I love getting these updates. What's going on with the NCAA tournament?
We simulated it last week after Podcast Beyond, and we haven't been able to get back to simulate again. The two kids who are in it don't seem to care.
Yeah.
That it's, sporadic at best.
Will this ever happen again?
No. Oh, God, no. We will never do this. If we do, we shouldn't
If we do, it'll be better handled.
When we should do it and not be stupid and do it in the spring. Or, you know what I mean?
Do it
In December started, or right after
January.
the holidays started.
Yeah.
So it's not... we were just dumb. I don't know. We thought it was going to go quicker than this, and we had people... First off, we were delayed getting it because of trips that we were both on, and when we did it, we had people dropping in, dropping out, wanting to change teams. And then by the time we actually had a
holiday
format,
hell broke loose.
just everything hit us.
There we go. PSN Hit of the Week. Greg, you had the crumpled up piece of paper with the name on it.
So in Little Big Planet, there's a Game Scoop level.
Yes.
It was created by a guy named Eric. He wrote in to thank us for posting the video, and everyone should go check it out. His name to go check it out would be Evasion R3. That is EVASION R3. You can go check it out that way. He also has to be Hit of the Week, though, because he's always looking for friends. And now with Little Big Planet, there'll be quite the community behind him. So Hit of the Week is EVASION R3.
PSN hit confirmed.
That was a good one.
There we go.
Thank you.
And thank you for making a level based on IGN content.
Yeah. Oh, and he did warn me in the email about it that he is totally going to do a Podcast Beyond level. He just ran out of time, and the beta's about to end. But
beta ends on Saturday at some point.
But there's a lot of good stuff in there. Don't worry. As far right now, if you're a podcast listener, it's a great level filled with references to Solius and Nate and Damon. Me.
Yeah, very good. Hey, if somebody makes a Beyond level and all that kind of stuff, I encourage everybody to make one. We'll see which ones are cool. Send messages to somebody on your friends list, like Greg or I or Jeff or whatever.
Yeah.
And then let us know in case we don't see it in the email right away.
That way we can check it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Real quick too, the challenge is still on the table. I'm looking for someone to create a PlayStation 3 Podcast Beyond theme.
Yeah.
Now that we're talking about themes here, I will make it worth your while, and that's all I'll say. There you go.
I want to know what the worth the while part is.
Well, I don't think I should say that.
Okay. Is it good? Is it? Yeah.
Let's just say you can say what I'm about to do.
I can say that happened. Hey, Greg winked. That was the thing.
There you go.
All right.
It'll be good.
Anyway, Maybe we could say, hey Sony, you might make like $4 off a premium one.
Yeah, well there you go.
Beyond one.
They should start hosting Podcast Beyond too.
Beyond.
There you go.
There you go. Put that on the store every
Put it on
Thursday.
the PS3.
There you go.
Maybe we can do that. Anyway, I think that brings us to pretty much the end of the show.
End of the show.
It's about the end of the thing. Fast one with Ryan not here.
Yeah.
Well,
apologizing.
Yeah. There you go. Of course, we end every show with a song. If you have reader mail you want to have read on Podcast Beyond, either hit up the message boards or send an email to beyond@ign.com.
Beyond.
I think I was all set to sing this, and I'm pretty sure, possibly, that I sang it before. For a while, somebody was keeping track in Wikipedia of every song that was sung at the end of Podcast Beyond. He eventually tapered off. I'm assuming he died. Oh, a quick update on dead listeners, too. The kid working on the Podcast Beyond musical, not dead, did contact me. Still working on the musical. Alive. I know we worried about it after I said he might be dead. Anyways, so I don't know if I've sung this one before, but even if I have, I think it sums up everything I feel when Ryan goes away.
Aww.
Every night in my dreams, I see Clements. I feel Clements.
Oh, no.
That is how I know he goes on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Far across the oceans and countries between us, I hear his apologies. Go on.
I don't mean to intrude.
Near, far, wherever he is, I believe that his apologies and beard hair go on and on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, that's the end of the show. We will see you guys next week. Hopefully Sony will have announced more games by then.
Yes.
Beyond.
Beyond
the